We're all about facts, not fear, and providing info to keep you and your loved ones safe. So Major League Baseball recently returned amid the pandemic, but after more than 12 Marlins players and coaches tested positive for COVID-19, Dr. Fauci warned that this could put the rest of the season in danger. So our medical expert, Dr. Kohli, joining us live. Now, before we hey, doctor, how are you?
Hey, guys.
Hey, before we get to our viewer questions, and we have a lot of them today, we want to know, is it safe to continue sporting events this season, or should we just cancel them altogether?
You know, I don't know much about sports, but I have to say that I'm a sports fan, and I do think there are ways in which we could have safe sporting events this season. But you guys, it's certainly not going to look like what it did before, and there are going to have to be a lot of special protocols and caveats in place. So, for example, I think testing is the biggest cornerstone of bringing back sports safely. And we have to test frequently, which means at least once a week, maybe even more often, and before every single game. And that way we can identify people who are positive, just like the Marlins did, isolate them, and quickly prevent outbreaks. We're also probably not going to be able to have in-person fans. So that's kind of a challenge when you think about sporting events and really what it means to our culture. And then finally, and this is the one that raises the most ethical questions, the teams would have to be isolated without their families, just really quarantined together in order to make sporting events safe. And that really begs the question of whether that's the right thing to do in order to bring sports back.
Wow, we really do live in a completely different world in 2020. It's still baffles me. So let's get to some viewer questions. Donnell asks, a female friend had COVID-19 a few months ago. Now she's noticing a lot of her hair is falling out.
Oh my goodness.
Dr. Kohli, have you heard of this?
I have heard of this, and it's a condition called telogen effluvium. And essentially that's a fancy Latin word for changes in the hair follicle that cause short-term hair loss. And this can be triggered by any kind of physical or emotional stress, viruses, infection, weight loss, or fever, all of the things that happen with COVID-19. And what happens is you get short-term damage to the hair follicle, usually lasting about 3 to 6 months. And it can be quite distressing because you can lose 50 to 100 hairs every single day. But as I said, the nice thing is that it's short-term, but you know, our hair is so important to our self-esteem, our appearance, and so many other things that a lot of people, even after they recover from the infection, are now suffering with this condition.
All right, Doc, I'm actually kind of excited to ask you this question because I was actually talking about it with my girl last night. Patricia asks, can dogs sniff out coronavirus? I've heard that they can.
Patricia, they can, and I don't know if you have a dog, Al, but maybe we'll teach him how to sniff out coronavirus. And the nice thing is they just showed in a German study that was released earlier this week that dogs can be quickly trained and they can sniff coronavirus with a 94% accuracy. And the reason is because dogs, you know, compared to us humans, have about 10,000 times stronger sense of smell. And the virus itself has a smell, and it also changes your metabolism and changes your smell when you're infected with the virus. So you can imagine this could be a game changer because we could have dogs at grocery stores, at sporting events, at restaurants sniffing out the virus.
That is
love that.
unbelievable.
Isn't that cool?
Wow. Maybe even my 17-year-old senior dog, huh?
Yeah.
You think, Doc?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Unbelievable. You'll be back tomorrow. If you guys at home have a question about coronavirus that you want answered by Dr. Kohli, write us on social media. You can also email info@dailybosslive.com.